What if I told you that life is all about perception? You might have heard this from somebody or on a documentary like The Law of Attraction, or anybody promoting happiness, positive psychology, or anything like that. But if you take an example of two people who have grown up in the same environment, gone through pretty much the same things, but have severely different outcomes, you can understand the meaning behind that and why so many people believe that life is about perception. For example, if one person experiences something that most people would call a bad situation, there's two ways that they could think about it. They could pout and say, oh, poor, poor, pitiful me. Or they could look at it and say, yes, this is a bad situation, but because of this happening to me, I now can do this. Or I've now learned more about something new that I can carry on into the future. And if it was a mistake, not make that mistake. Or if it was a situation that was preventable, not make that again. So what I mean by life is all about perception is you have two different ways to look at it. You can think of it as the glass is half empty, which is the pessimist, or you can think of it as the glass is half full, which is the optimist. But even further than that, you can go beyond what an optimist is and think about, it doesn't matter if the glass is half empty or half full, but that you have a pitcher of water to fill it up. And that's the perception, that's the difference of having a good life versus a bad life. So I wanted to get on here and just kind of go through that, where happiness is a choice. And when I say happiness, I mean psychological well-being, the balance of what you do in life. What are the things that you're doing? Are they good? Are they bad? Do you know they're bad? If you know that they're bad, why are you still doing it? You know, so we all have choices in life, and then those choices gives us the option to think about it this way or think about it that way. And ultimately, that's where the phrase happiness is a choice comes from. And there's a lot of techniques that you can do out there as well. I know Sean Acor, which is a happiness researcher from Harvard, has found that if you write 2 minutes a day, you journal 2 minutes a day about a positive activity or just something positive, then your day will dramatically be different in a good way. There's also, I think we've all heard of it, or a lot of us have heard of it in this environment, is if you write 3 things down that you're grateful for every day for 21 days, you'll create a mindset shift. And what it means is that you'll start to scan the world with a positive lens rather than a negative lens. If we think about our primitive mind, back in the day, we had to think negatively because we were being hunted. We were the prey, not the predator. So these things are important. And I feel like they don't get talked about enough, or if they do get talked about enough, they don't get enough media attention. They don't get enough, whatever it is, they don't get enough of it. And it's very important to me that people understand this, because I know growing up, I had a negative outlook and it controlled my life for about 23 years, 24 years. And I didn't even realize it. I didn't know that there was a thing out there called positive psychology, that you can actually reshape your brain. I didn't know that until I majored in psychology and luckily took a positive psychology class. And from there, that one class shifted my mindset. I know I've talked about it before, but it's huge and people don't understand. You can think about something negatively. You'll find something negative if you give yourself the opportunity to think that way. And thinking positively is hard. It takes time. I mentioned 21 days. That's for it to really sink in. But if you want to go even further, you have to do it for longer. And what makes it even more difficult is you have to believe in it for it to be successful. For instance, if you go into the exercise of writing 3 things that you're grateful for every single day, and you're not specific and you don't believe in it, it's not going to change. You're still going to be negative. You're thinking negatively about the exercise before you even do it. So the reason that I've been doing these videos is because I think that my true purpose is to help others, help them understand that there are options out there and that you can take control of your own life. You know, if you're not happy, Google how to be happy and I'm sure you'll find something, or work with a life coach, get therapy, talk to your friends, create a circle that you can be vulnerable and say, hey, I don't know how to be happy. Maybe they can help you. Maybe they have a book that you haven't read, or there's a podcast that you can listen to. The goal is to not have as many people go through life for 23 years or longer before realizing that happiness is a choice. And to go even further on happiness, it doesn't mean that you're walking around happy all the time. It means that you're psychologically well, which means that you know how to balance these different things that happen. You know how to view the good in a bad situation. And you know how to think creatively on how to find a solution rather than dwell on the bad in that situation. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me or do your own research and look into it, because the difference that you'll see in yourself or the people around you is exponential. You're going to live a different life once you apply these exercises. Once you start exercising your mind like you exercise your muscles. Or maybe the reason that you don't go to the gym is because you think negatively. Well, once you start to think positively, who knows what could be out there. You could start exercising right now and doing the positive exercise at the same time, and maybe that's the reason that you continue to do it. Maybe that's the reason that you get out of the rut that you're in. And I have depression and anxiety, and I understand that whenever you're depressed, it's hard to do anything. It's hard to do anything. You don't want to get out of bed. And if you do, you're thinking about the next time that you can lay back down, you know? So I don't know if I was harsh on any of this, but it's so true. Happiness is a choice. And you have the option on how to handle it. Do you want to have a good life? Do you want to have a great life? Or do you want to have a terrible life? And I don't think anybody wants to have a terrible life. So I hope this video is helpful. And like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. There is a lot of science and studies that back up the exercises that can help you become more positive, become more happy, and be more psychologically well. And the crazy thing is, it transitions into your work, it transitions into the people around you, transitions into your family. And what's even crazier, with studies proving it, is that the happier a person is, the better they are at their job and the more likely they are to receive raises, bonuses, and better employee evaluations. So the number of things that benefit you from being happy is endless. So make that choice today, and I hope that we can work together in the future, or at least let me see that the journey progression. Because like I said, I think that this is my purpose, and I'm happy that I've broken through certain comfort zones to get out and talk to you guys. So if you have an experience that you want to tell me, drop it in the comments, or leave a DM, or text me. I drop a DM and I'll give you my number. But I know this is a lot longer video than you probably expected, but let's connect and let's continue to grow together. Thank you.